Warning, the following video is so manly that it can make a woman grow a beard. So if you are a little Justin Bieber, proceed with caution.
What is up, gentlemen? On today's video I'm bringing you the most awesome specialist weapon in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I can tell you right now that this is my favorite specialist weapon, and when Call of Duty Black Ops 3 comes out, I'll be using the shit out of this motherfucker. Now, this is an awesome specialist weapon. It is not the best, gentlemen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this one is the best. I'm just saying that it is the most fun. It is awesome to use, and it is very unique. So a lot of people will use the Annihilator, which is a pistol that one shot kills at any part of the body. Everyone uses that. You have the Tempest, which is a shockwave, no, electric gun, something like that. Everyone uses also that thing. You have the crossbow, which isn't that good. You have the Spectre, the minigun. Everyone uses that. The gravity spikes. That shit is newbie as fuck. And then you have the Hive, and that's what we're talking about on this video, gentlemen. The Hive is a beast, and I love using that thing. Now, the Hive, gentlemen, is the specialist weapon of the Nomad, and pretty much it is like a launcher that fires hives filled with killer bees. Alright, so it fires little traps filled with bees. They're not actually bees. They're like nano drones, and those things are unleashed, those killer bees, when an enemy passes by the traps, and then those poor souls that have the bad luck of activating those killer bees will get destroyed in seconds. So as I said, it pretty much fires traps, and inside those little traps there are a shit ton of killer bees waiting to be unleashed. They're sitting all, inside those traps, all cute and shit, just waiting for that delicious breakfast, which usually is a nerd or a noob. Now, the Hive, gentlemen, fires. It can fire up to 5 shots if you're quick. Obviously, if you don't fire those things immediately after you get it, the longer you wait, the less shots you will have available. So it fires 5 shots, and it works pretty much like the trip mine, or if you want, gentlemen, like the IED from Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, it sticks to any surface: walls, ceilings, floors, objects like trees, cars, fridges, whatever, pretty much anything that is solid. So to use this tank, gentlemen, you gotta play smart. Alright, you cannot run and gun with this tank like you can do with the Annihilator, with the Tempest. That's how you want to use those guns. And even with those guns, you can't really run and gun that much, because if you get killed, you die. If you get killed, you die. Whoa, that's a smart one. If you get killed, you lose your gun. But with this one, you actually have to play even more defensively. So you gotta use. This is a defensive weapon, gentlemen. It takes like a second or two for it to work. It's not like the Annihilator, when you shoot that thing, you get the kill. No, with this one, you shoot this thing and you don't immediately get the kill. You gotta wait a few seconds. So running with this beast is a very bad idea. So every time you fire the Hive, try staying alive, because when you die, the Hive traps disappear. Alright, so how do you use this thing, gentlemen? Well, it is very easy. You want to make sure, as I said, you play smart. Don't run around like a jackass. Play smart, head glitch, do whatever you gotta do to not get killed. Randomly put, you can, for example, you can randomly put these traps on high traffic areas for some surprise kills. So pretty much you can use these things like trip mines, where just randomly put them in one spot where you think that the enemy is gonna pass. You can use it to play the objective. You can use it, for example, in domination, to defend flags. Let's say you don't want the enemy to take B, alright? So you can put a Hive on the B flag. You can put a Hive on several spots where the enemy can come from. You can fire those Hives at the enemy spawn. That way you will kill them while or when they're trying to capture your flag. You can use it while you are capturing flags. The Hive will buy you seconds. You can trap, you can rig all the spots where the enemy can come from with Hive traps, and when they try to get to you, while you're stealing their flag, they will get killed. Now this is great. I use this a lot when I'm capturing flags, because Very often I find myself alone capturing an enemy flag because no one wants to do the dirty work. No one wants to get risked. No one wants to get killed. And it just, it can be a very hard job to capture flags by yourself in Black Ops 3 because of all the jumping and wall running. You have several spots where the enemy can come from. So by yourself, you cannot cover 6 spots because usually you have like 3, 4, maybe 5 spots where the enemy can come from, and this is when or where the Hive comes in handy, because with this thing you can fire a trap, a Hive trap, to all those spots where the enemy can come from, and then you can just chill capturing that flag, and it works. Oh man, it is awesome. All right, it is freaking awesome. You can also use it against campers, gentlemen. If you see a guy head glitching behind a barrel or something, fire a Hive and surprise that motherfucker with the killer bees. Or you can also fire it into a building where there's a freaking camper, you know, all set up with shock dildos and trip mines and shit. So fire the Hive into the building. If he moves, because I believe this is activated by movement or something, if you get too close, if he moves, he will get immediately destroyed by the bees. And if he has a buddy inside the room, you can see him flying through the window as fast as he can, as if he was running from the devil, because those killer bees, they will not give you a chance, man. You better run for your life. And finally, you can also troll people with this thing by sticking enemies with the Hive, with the Hive trap, as if it was Samtex, because that's pretty much how it works. If you get stuck with one of these things, you can't shake it off. All right, you can't shake it off. You can run as fast as you can. It's just a matter of seconds until they get released and you get devoured. You get eaten alive. So overall, gentlemen, the Hive is a badass weapon. It is great for defensive kills. Oh, and I can see a lot of campers using this thing, because it's pretty much like having 5 bouncing baddies, 5 IEDs, 5 trip mines, and they will rig their entire room with this thing. But there's a few ways to counter the Hive, so don't worry, gentlemen. And yeah, as I said, it's great for defensive kills. It is great for playing the objective and closing down certain high traffic areas for a few seconds. Now, gentlemen, watching this thing going to work is great. The kill cams are always fun. Some people, I had some funny reactions with my kill cams while using the Hive. Some people were like, "Oh my god, that's fucking sick. What is that thing?" Because a lot of people will use they see these videos, and these videos are like, "Oh man, the best specialist weapon is the Annihilator or the Tempest," and then all these little kids will just use the Annihilator and the Tempest. They want to give a chance to the other specialist weapons, but it's just funny to see them to see their reactions when they get killed by this thing. They're like, "Oh my god, that looks sick." So tell me what you think, gentlemen, about the Hive. Let me know if you have used this thing already, and if it worked for you. I will see you next time. Peace.